Hello and welcome to another scene set in the Live of Darkness, New York by Night, Camarilla / Anarch edition of Vampire, of course, because the Camarilla and the Anarchs don't exist in Garou. What are you thinking, you silly cross-venue scrubs? We begin again. In another one of the offices of Mr. Spillane, or Spillane, as he's so affectionately referred to as that scumbag caitiff over there. Get in your corner. It has been 24 hours since Mr. Spillane made his request for Kate to join his coterie to be. Of course, he's already contacted Roach regarding this, but has let the Roach issue lie for the moment. Give him some time. And instead is focusing his efforts on the lovely, the ever remarkable, enrapturing, gorgeous Kate Daniels. So lovely is she. She has been invited to the same office as before for some lovely blood tea. Well, actually, no, she has not been invited to the same office as before. In fact, it's actually more of a private room. It's more like a dining room almost.
So no bed.
No. Spillane is loyal to his wife. Not today, Satan.
Two naughty puppies. Well, continue.
Spillane is no longer a Casanova. He's off the menu. Stop it. But yeah, no, it's a private room. It's actually fairly small. You may have no, you have not been to this room before. If you actually have been, it's during the war that this room was open. It's in an Irish pub, a different pub this time. It's rather homely in a way. It's almost like a living room, but a bit more spread out and has a minibar. There's a dining area and a large kind of plasma screen TV kind of adorning the upper, kind of hanging above the minibar itself. There's also actually a smaller screen in the corner of the bar for the if there were a barkeep, for him to be able to watch what was ever going on as well. It's actually quite spruced up in a way. On a table in a glass on a glass table, basically on the opposite end of the room to this minibar, is a tea set. There's a U-shaped sofa and a couple of chairs to the side. Nice and leathery. And Sam is sitting there, pouring himself some lovely blood tea.
Kate is already in the room, or is she still outside the door?
You can enter whenever you wish, or you can be inside.
Inside of Spillane?
Stop it. Stop. This is a bannable offense. I'm making a complaint. Amateur, get in here right now. I want you to moderate this woman.
3, 2, 1, bloop. Hey guys, I'm here.
No one can resist the Spillane. No woman on this planet.
Or man, for that matter.
No one at all. Not even Alec. As cold as he may appear.
Mm-hmm. Well, Kate will open the door and she'll let herself in and she'll walk towards explain, and she'll seat herself, well, close to him, but still respectable distance, so she's not hopping on top of him or sitting on his lap.
I'm sorry, what?
She's seating herself a respectable distance away from Spillane.
That's what I thought.
And she'll say, "Thank you for having me."
Aye, nothing to it. Would you like some tea? Or coffee? I don't know what we call like blood in a. I guess it's blood tea. It's a tea set after all.
Tea, please.
He pours you a small tea. There's more in it this time. And Kate will lift. Oh yeah, Kate will lift her teacup as well, and she'll not displaying. She'll take a sip. So, how you doing?
Actually, pretty well. There hasn't been much to do recently, so how about you?
Oh, not too much. I introduced myself to Roach. Offered him to join our coterie. Sorry. I haven't given me your answer yet. I'll retcon that and say he didn't say that. The coterie. Although, I'm giving him a little bit of time to think about it. He's quite focused on his research currently, and considering that he just entered the city not too long ago and is still getting his bearings, I'm giving him a little bit of time to think about it. He also hasn't met Fieldo yet. Hopefully he'll encourage him to join a coterie so he can be a bit more proactive in the affairs of the city.
Have you been talking to anyone else about the coterie?
I've been trying to get a hold of Hayden. Seems to slip through my fingers, just like that. Haven't had a chance to talk to him yet.
Kate will smile fondly when he talks about Hayden. It's obviously that she likes him. Oh, well, yeah, Hayden tends to get like that if he doesn't want to be found.
Hey, I was thinking of linking him up with Roach. The two could probably get some amazing things accomplished together.
What is it that Roach does?
Hey, something of a bug expert. Has some technical skill as well, though. Wants to see if he can implant surveillance tech into some of his bugs. I know some of the... not sure if you know what the Sabat Kove racks, they call them barons. I know where some of the barons are. I've offered to help him in setting some of these spy bugs up where the barons are. See if we can learn some juicy gossip from our old enemies.
Kate looks quite impressed. Oh, really now? I didn't know Roach was such a resourceful man. I'm quite impressed.
Well, he spent a lot of time. I'm not sure I'd call him resourceful in the traditional sense, or the conventional sense, rather. He can make duo with... he can make a lot of little, I guess you could say. Which I guess does make him resourceful, but... he hasn't gotten out too much. He's not particularly resourceful in that regard. I'm hoping after he gets his bearings and his work gets well underway that he starts involving himself a bit more. He doesn't really want to get involved in the big fights. I can't blame him. he doesn't appear to be much of a combat sort. He's more of a wet worker, I guess you could say. What would you say? So part of a support network. Switchboard operator, sort of individual.
Kate nods. Yeah, I would say Hayden fits that description as well. He doesn't like fighting that much.
Right, well, I've gotten used to it, I suppose. I'm kind of impressed by myself. I've made it this far. At least I call it impressive. Yeah, he is just straight bragging to Kate about how impressive he is. He even seems to, he's like, yeah, that's right.
And Kate will say, well, I can't imagine them turning someone down who is so charismatic as you. And if you want to, you can roll, what is it, empathy, perception empathy?
Sam, regardless, will just say, but can you? Fuck you ones. 2 successes.
Yeah. What is the phrase? She's pulling your leg.
Mm-hmm.
She is poking fun at you, but she's not trying to be malicious about it. Friendly poking fun at you.
Sam's humanity 4. He gets out his shotgun. No. He takes in good taste. Even ums a laugh out of him. Puts down his little tea set. Alright. That's enough out of you. We both know why I called you here. I gave you a choice to make, I believe. Suddenly, my accent is... What the fuck happened? I'm sorry, OC moment. What the hell just happened to my accent? Oh, there we go. Much more Irish now. Much better. Okay. Back to normal. My cold is doing strange things to turning my Irish accent into a Southern accent. What the hell is going on? Back in character. I'm so sorry. I gave you a choice to make, I believe.
Yes, you did.
Hey.
She'll just continue staring at you.
Sanders look slightly irritated at that when she doesn't speak further. I gave you some time to think about it. I'm sorry I seem to be punching straight for the gut here, but the sooner I guess we get your choice out of the way, the sooner you can get back to pulling my leg.
Kate will try not to spit out her tea at this. And she'll put her cup down. And she'll say, yes, I had the opportunity to talk with my mentor about it, Ajax. And we both came to the conclusion that I'm kind of hoping for Spillane to look nervous or anticipating. Probably not. So many dice.
Beat 4 successes on a roll.
He's just poker face all the way.
He's Sam.
Lol. She'll kind of peek at him through her lashes, but not seeing what you hope to see, she will just continue.
Sam just appears completely. He doesn't. He's not nervous. He seems to be waiting with anticipation, like he's waiting for you to answer. He's anticipating your answer, but he does not appear afraid. He seems to be heavily focused on you, being the utterly enthralling figure that you are. Miss Caitiff. Of this particular beauty pageant. And he just seems to be awaiting an answer, but doesn't appear to be nervous. He appears to be he waits with anticipation. Not anticipation is not the same as excitement, but it's close.
She'll continue. Ajax agrees with my notion of that it's no longer to my benefit to continue being part of the unit. He also gave me his blessing to, if I wanted to leave the unit, to do whatever I want to. That would include not joining another unit or another coterie, forming one of my own, or joining an existing coterie. I think we both know that the first and the second either do not lie in my nature or are impossible due to my, well, I would say low birth, but you get the gist of it. So that leaves me with one option, which is join a coterie. And she will pick up her cup again. And she kind of takes on, what is it? I would say an overly English demeanor, but that might be a bit. Kind of lift her nose and be all royal-like. And she'll say, guess which one, or which coterie I picked.
Oh, do tell.
You little. She'll just look at you.
Sumina taint Invictus.
No, I won't have to roll for it. Kate, you can visibly see that Kate is trying to hold her laugh in. No, you're completely right on that account. But yes, I would be happy to join the coterie that you're forming.
He will outstretch a hand. Glad to have you aboard.
Kate will stand and ignore the hand and just hug Spillane.
That kind of catches Sam a little bit off guard. He wasn't expecting a hug. Sam is cold to the touch. He's pretty pale, actually.
Same.
Oh, damn. It's kind of weird then. Sam will embrace the will fully embrace the hug. Actually, perhaps considering his kind of personality and his reputation, it might be a bit surprising that he does so with such ease.
Roll. Well, you probably will succeed, but roll empathy, perception empathy.
I only get one success.
One?
One. The ones, man. The ones. Look at them. They hate me.
Oh, poor little thing. You can see that Kate is pleased with how Spillane reacted to it. And she'll sit her butt back down. Happy to be on board.
Um. Hey. Thank you. There's a moment of silence as Sam kind of considers what to say next. Obviously, the hug. He wasn't really expecting a hug, so it kind of threw him off balance a little bit. He doesn't look awkward more than he appears to be considering his next words carefully. So I guess that means we got a lot of work to do if we want to catch up to the unit then. No thanks to you. Sips tea with sass.
Well, for some reason, I have the idea that the task that we will perform will be a bit more substantial than whatever surfaces the unit performs. Sips tea with more sass.
Oh no, do you want to make this a sass contest? Because Sam will assassinate you with
Oh my
his sass.
god. Oh my
Yes.
god.
He's an assassinite.
Oh god. Oh god.
We have just destroyed the scene, you and I. And we'll go. I agree. At the end of the day, anyone can fight. I'm sure you've noticed, but I'm not exactly a man who's built himself towards his, how shall we say, the art of combat. In fact, prior to myself becoming a sheriff and then the leader of a cultry, then something of a lone wolf, then an ancilla, then a lone wolf ancilla, I was largely a negotiator and an investigator. Nobody really had the contacts I did in my areas of influence, and nobody was really willing to use them. I know Ghost and Limey, before they left, had some friends in these areas, but for some reason they never really came to use this power they had. And power exists to be used. I was a lot more overt in how I explored my spheres of power.
You muted yourself.
I know, it was deliberate.
Oh.
For the longest time, I'm sure you figured, I believe I've already told you, friends in the Irish mob. I used to run it until the Sabbat showed up. I still have a big hand in it, but less than I once did. I'm working on building it back up again. I used to control Tribeca. It's why Invictus had it as a domain. It's similar to why the Bruja used to have Harlem as a domain. They used their own friends on the ground to look out for any would-be ne'er-do-wells from the other side. Considering your skills and mine, and Haydn's and Roach's, hopefully if Roach joins us. I will implore Theodore to compel him in some sense. He is a Nosferatu after all. But we should be able to accomplish a vast amount of things regarding information together. And considering the way we've both handled ourselves, we don't need to exactly be Lucius to hold ourselves in a fight either.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but as I remember, you're a pretty good fighter yourself.
Yeah. Depends. I cheat. I'm a good shot, to be fair. Hell of a good shot. It's probably the thing I'm best at. That's why I always carry this little thing around. He takes out what is not a little gun. It's the same gun you've seen him use countless times. It's a very large Taurus Judge, a shotgun revolver. It is not small for a pistol. Concealable on a coat or a jacket. It's still concealable, but by pistol standards, it's pretty thick and big.
Oh, Spillane, you have such a thick gun. That is not what Kate says. That is not what Kate says.
Nope, that happened now. Sam.
No.
Sam reacts with like, huh?
No.
You've stepped over. No, I won't do that. I won't do that. I won't be that bad.
No, Kate will just say. Kate will say, "Ooh, nice little toy you have there."
It's not much better. No, a toy. This was made personally for me by Tremere. Or for Brenwyn, I believe. I haven't seen much of the poor man since I left Invictus. A shame. He had his head on, well, he had his head screwed on quite tight.
Kate nods. Yeah. I'm lucky enough that I still have a token of him before he left.
Left? Aye. Well, I suppose troop rotation is normal. He says that as if, like, he's just making an excuse for him. Like, that he doesn't really believe that statement at all.
Oh.
He doesn't appear mad, say. Rather, he appears somewhat frustrated. You get the feeling this is not the first time something like this has happened to him.
That's a one, I believe.
Every time. I do not appreciate being blindsided. So, I know. Oh, I never really got the chance to ask you. I just went and just caught a movie the other night. I figure if you're going to be my culture mate, I should get to know you better.
Ask away.
Well, are you really called Kate Daniels? Or is that a cute little alias you got set up for yourself?
Kate will chuckle and she'll shake her head. No, that is my given name.
Ah. Well, Spillane is mine. Samus Spillane. Sometimes I go by the name Mason, so if you hear that name getting thrown around, it's likely to be me. Just giving you a heads up. Just don't tell anyone I told you that. It's a deliberate alias.
She nods her head. Well, I think it suits you.
In a way, I suppose. I'm as much a demolition man as I am, well, as I am a builder, a construction worker.
I can't hear you anymore.
Higher-ups found out about that. About why they punished her.
I have no idea what you said. You cut out halfway through, and then for the last part, you got back.
Okay. He says, I suppose you already know how the higher-ups found out about Selena's little transgression and why they turned her into a caitiff. Well, I say turned her into a clanless. You can't really do that. It's more of a political thing than anything else.
To be honest, I never really paid that much attention towards that whole fiasco.
She and Samson came to me. And Selena decided that she had had enough of Maria, had found out she was in Boston, had a source, and decided she wanted to go over there and assassinate her. She wanted me to help her. I said no. I said, well, I had many reasons for why I said no. But I said, one, we've got a war to focus on. The last thing we want to do is be killing each other. Two, there are ways of handling this other than through violence. It is frankly amateurish to engage in sheer violence when one can resolve a dispute in a much more peaceable and amiable matter. And three, most important reason, well, thirdly, not the most important reason, my safety can't be guaranteed if I do this. But four, most importantly, and the reason why I'd be in danger in the first place, is because we break the sixth tradition. And I don't break the traditions. I enforce them. I fix them when they are broken. That is the one standard I've always held to myself to. I'm proud to say I've never broken a tradition. The one time the tradition was at risk, and that was when you were there, when we got caught on camera. Remember when we paid to buy Spudge a visit? He said, remember when we paid to buy Spudge a visit?
Ah, yes.
I, through my contacts, was made aware that the false Tobias Budge, had gotten his hands on this tape. When we found him at his mansion, I found that tape. I destroyed it. I repaired the traditions. shouldn't have gotten into a position where they had to be broken, or rather, were broken in the first place. They didn't have to be broken. It was part of the problem. And it was part of my responsibility to resolve, and I did. I've talked with Maria. I know how she is. I do not like her. I do not favor her, obviously. But I will not break the traditions to beat her. I'm aware of my reputation in the city. Very much aware, in fact. Although it's usually worked to my advantage. It's kind of funny to see how people let their minds spiral out of control when thinking of me. But that's the one thing they don't see because of what they view me as. The irony is that perception of me that I am effectively a traitor hides what I really am, and thus is a shield I can use. And a weapon. People say you should assume nothing of no one that you don't know, but I disagree. I think you should assume someone is telling the truth until evidence surfaces that they're not, until otherwise. Until there's evidence otherwise. Because otherwise, you'll find yourself throwing the sorts of fits and seizures they do around me. Because they don't know what I'm trying to do. I say this, they think I'm saying something else, but they can't be sure of that. They think I might be lying. Or I could be telling the truth to double bluff them. Or I could be triple bluffing them. By knowing that they think I might be trying to double bluff them. So I'm lying. Frankly, I just think it's because they're stupid. It's quite easy to lie when you just tell the truth. I wonder if that's why the McCavens have such a hard time. Interesting.
Kate is very entertained with the things you were saying.
Oh, she's entertained, I see. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Calling everyone else stupid.
Yeah, just like, well, not insulting her, but kind of like, kind of insulting the people you generally know. People like Scott, people like Alec, you know, the people who kind of, the people who buy into his reputation, he's insulting. Considering he's telling you all of this, it would appear he's not insulting you.
Yes, I do must say that you don't have a favorable appearance in the eyes of the others.
And yet I wound up an Ancilla. I love that. That's so wonderfully ironic. Maybe I should be one of those social toreador that performs revenge as an art form. I'd enjoy that.
Kate chuckles. I think they'll be happy to have you.
Oh, Maria won't be. Do you know who her sire is? I think I told you. Yes, I believe I did.
Kate nods.
Yay. I almost forgot that I told you. Man. The cards are somewhat stacked. I don't actually know Fyodor's sire. I should ask him sometime. It might be useful. I actually got an amaranth the other day. from the one that was genociding Caitiff. Do you know what that means?
Do tell.
It's a tradition. It's an old one. Sometimes, in the old days, before someone was to be hunted, they would give them an amaranth to warn them. It was like a final send-off before the hunt began. Of course, no such things occur anymore. But it's a sign of severe disapproval. There's another word for dabblery. It's called the amaranth. Because even now, and back in the old days, it was especially more common for kindred to be dabblerized upon being blood hunted. I don't know the full story, but that is where the term amaranth comes from the flower itself. And thus sprang forth a different term, dabblery, to hide this little factoid. It's kind of interesting. You know, if the elders hadn't trusted me with such a great degree of kindred history, I would say that the manipulations have been absolutely perfect. Unfortunately, they trusted me. So they're not. I know a fair amount in our condition. Did you know? You don't need a teacher to learn some of our disciplines.
Kate will raise her eyebrows.
That's one you're gonna have to study up on. Ask your mentor about that one, actually. He's a scholar. He might be able to tell you. Ajax is a very old and very wise bourgeois. Can teach you a lot of things, more than I ever could. This is just stuff I've picked up by being around as long as I have and hanging out with the wrong sort of people. I'm not sure I told you that Miss Stevenson used to be a close friend of mine.
Kate shakes her head.
Aye. The one in the zoo.
Oh.
You could consider her my only close friend before the Sabbat War. She had a sister in the Sabbat. A mortal sister that ended up at Ismisi. I met her. I kept her a secret. Because Emily wanted me to. And I honored that wish. It's kind of strange when you regret something, but you still wouldn't change it. I regret it because, well, she probably wouldn't have been able to leave if I told anyone. And it would have sped her life. But I wouldn't have changed it because I gave her my word. It's very, very easy to see a political figure as duplicitous. And I am duplicitous in a lot of ways. But I've always told someone if I intend to do something, I'm going to do it. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And people don't believe me because they think I'm a liar. It's not an unfair assumption. But there's a reason I always end up winning. It's because they're wrong every time. I don't say that to come across as arrogant. The only reason I'm no longer an Ancilla is because I switched my support from Maria to Fyodor. And I told Maria that. If I wanted, I could have been the next seneschal of this city. There's a more than likely chance I will no longer be this.
Well, I think we should first focus on keeping the city standing before we start dividing roles.
I mean, you say this, and the fighting's already started. Fyodor did not want to move in on the princedom so soon. He wanted to wait until after the city was freed. Maria has forced his hand, which is somewhat astute on her part, because she's forced him to act too soon. But it has put her at great political peril, because now half the Camarilla is against her. I don't think the High Clans will ever hate Fyodor, but I think the Low Clans will always hate Maria.
You can see Kate flatten her lips. I wouldn't say hate, but for most of us, it's not safe to be in the same room with her and her lackeys.
You would be right to hate her. She wants to destroy you, simply for being. If I were in your position, I'd most likely be an anarch, considering my temperament. Do not tell anyone I told you this. I want you to keep this strictly to yourself. This is dangerous information if released. To both of us. But Jacob Christopher Orton is alive. And Eleanor, Maria's child, was sent here to assassinate him.
How did you come across this information?
She told me. He smiles.
Well, that was obviously not a smart move of her.
That's the thing. You can't trust me, but you can't afford not to.
Kate chuckles. And then you wonder why the rest mistrust you.
Valos, I profit off of every little suspicion they have. See, I think people haven't noticed my little patterns yet. Maybe it's because I'm self-aware of my patterns and they end up subtly changing as a result. But when I have negotiated with someone, one that has been in good faith, I've never broken my word. When Scott was put on trial for what he did, Scott considered this a betrayal, but I never proclaimed loyalty to him. And frankly, a mentee of Fyodor should never act the way he did. If he thought that Fyodor was going to be any more lenient to him than Eleanor was, or Maria was, he was wrong. which is why Fyodor let him go.
Kate nods.
Fyodor cares about traditions and court manners as much, if not more so, than Maria does. Perhaps because he has so much more to prove, or simply maybe it's ideological. I think he's right to care about them. And I think he's found a nice balance, though, between tradition and modernization. Perhaps that is part of the pragmatism that Clan Nosferatu provides. Hmm. What about yourself?
What is he asking?
How do you weave through this never-ending network of politics?
Hmm. Ever since I came into the city, my tactic was get as strong as you can, as fast as you can, and make as many allies as you can. I would say this is no longer sufficient, since it's no longer about guaranteeing my own safety. Now I'll need to make sure that the princedom doesn't fall into the wrong hands, on top of keeping myself safe and fed.
Hey. There's a lot at stake, but I don't need to tell you that.
Kate nods.
So, I suppose that's fair, though. I've been around a while. I've had an opportunity to get my teeth stuck into things. I'm knee-deep in the thick of it. Do you know what they call this thing? This great political game between kindred of all ages and sizes.
Kate will.
Universally rated.
Oh.
That's that. No, that was an add-on to a sentence. It's not the answer.
Oh, okay. Kate, under her breath, will say a shabacle.
Not far off. Actually, let's go to jihad. Which makes sense because you often hear it in the news, you know. Islam, jihad, that sort of thing. What does the word actually mean? It means struggle. Jihad in our world means the eternal struggle. The eternal struggle for us trying to climb on top of each other over and over again. Like a great tower of bodies that keeps really falling over on itself because everyone's climbing on top of each other. And it's been there since we began, and it will be there when we end. And they say everyone's a pawn, and everyone's a player. This is true of me also. I'm a pawn in a given context. I worked for Maria, then I decided to work for May Theodore. But at the same time, I am a player because I made that choice for myself. And I'm using this to better the position of myself and others around me. As much as others are manipulating me to my advantage, I'm manipulating others to my advantage. And so the spiral continues. It's an interesting political theory. So what would you consider yourself? A pawn or a player?
That depends. If you don't have all the cards, if you don't have all the information, you're doomed to slip back into the pawn role. But as soon as you guarantee that you're the one with all the information, you get to be a player and you get to stay in that position.
How lucky I'm providing you so much information then. And don't worry. Even if you were to be a pawn, you'll be my favorite little pawn. And he like rubs your head. It's kind of like affectionate, also kind of patronizing, like he's kind of teasing you a little bit. Kind of rubs you a bit like a cat.
Kate looks up and she snaps her teeth. Not lunging for him, but like, be aware of what you're doing.
Meow. I forgot. Cats don't really like that. This is a man with zero animal ken. He's not lying.
You do know just because my name resembles that a cat
Oh
does
yeah, I could
not.
call you a cat from now on. Hey, thanks for that.
Kate just looks dumbfounded at you.
And Sam has created yet another meme.
Oh god. Now, would you mind stopping that?
Fair enough. I don't really have a tail though. Like the closest equivalent is a ponytail.
Well, maybe you should call Alec. Maybe he'll let you pet his tail. If
Oh, that
you're really into
reminds
that
me.
thing.
Yeah, the Gangrel haiku. Oh yes, I remember this. Have you had the Gangrel haiku?
She tilts her head at him.
Wait, let me look it up.
Oh god.
Just gonna look it up right now. Got it. I got it. Ah. He almost seems to jolt as if remembering after like navel gazing for like 10 straight seconds. Ah yes. Goes like this. The rule for today. Touch my tail, I shred your hand. New rule tomorrow.
Yeah, Kate just stares at you.
5 syllables here. 7 more syllables here. Are you happy now? Haiku. Both of those were legit haikus. Those are actually real haikus.
I know.
They fit the framework. Sam is a genius. He's a he should be a Toreador.
Well, I'm pretty sure if any of the other Kindred heard you recite that haiku, they would have pissed themselves laughing.
Is she?
Hmm?
Well, how does she react?
She looks endearing at him.
Don't tell Alec. Actually, no. You must absolutely tell Alec about this haiku. I can't guarantee his safety if you do, but he must know of it. Perhaps we'll send him like a letter or something.
Well, if that gets me for him to let me touch his tail, it's totally worth it.
I mean, we could just play pin the tail. Or pin the second tail.
Nah, that's just mean.
That's true. We should put the blindfold on him and then we can just pin the tail freely. Much less like waving around. We can just get it done and over with. You know, we don't poke him a bunch of times. We just get it right the first time.
Now, why would you take all the fun out of it?
Well, because according to you, it's mean. I love fucking with Alec. It's so good. I need to do it more often.
I'm pretty sure Alec will disagree with you.
You said you were 18 when you were embraced.
Well, that is a downer.
Aye, it is. I'm sorry. Well, it's 2027? It's been a while. Jesus Christ. I'm losing track of my own age. I think I was 27. It's 27 or 26. 27. 27. Actually, no, I'm going to give myself the benefit of the doubt. I'm 26. I'm young.
Well, you don't look
still
a
a young
year
man.
over 25.
Just a year. I know you might not like discussing the topic, but what was life like for you back when you were a person? Well, human. Still a person, of course.
Life was a lot less complicated. I got up in the morning. I ate. I went to uni. I got back home. I did some sports. I ate and I went to bed. I had two lovely parents who took care of me, and I had friends who supported me, and life was generally good. Sad face.
That's more of a thought. I'm sorry you went through that. I'm honestly not really sure how I can relate. My story's a bit more complicated. My story actually starts at uni like yours. Boston, actually. Actually spent most of my life as a kindred there. Only moved to New York like last year. About a year and a half ago now. I ended up getting involved That's a bit of a long story in and of itself of the Irish mob. Was just a uni student. Basically met the wrong people, fucked the wrong people. Ended up having a chat with a few big boys. Not pleasant.
I can imagine.
Yeah. Should have me asked me to act with a little more respect, self-respect. I guess you could say as a polite way of putting it. I did, to be fair to them. Whoa. It was a bit of a party. See, it was time after a while, around the end of my uni, around time of my end of my time at uni, for me to meet the families that were. We did. It was all good. For the record, me and my girlfriend fucking hated the proceedings. So boring, so dull. Jeez. I'm kind of glad we're a bit more honest about things now. We're far too Italian back in Boston. Oh my god. What I would pay to never see an Italian again in my life. Funny enough, some asshole mobsters from another gang show up, basically shoot up the whole fucking place. Take some of us hostage. Don't want to ransom myself. Makes sense. I was really too nervous. Well, I'm nervous. My girlfriend isn't nervous. My girlfriend knows that she's going to get the ransom. I'm an extension. I'm an add-on. What I do something a little bit different. Something I didn't really expect to work. They want to wipe our gang off the face of the earth. Typical gang war. I instead offered them a counterclaim. We become your franchisee. We kiss your ring finger and submit ourselves to you. In exchange, we don't die horribly, and we get we basically work as what is effectively a client state. I've of course dumbed this down for their simple little minds. They're they're basically glorified gangbangers. They're not fucking politicians. So they're like, okay, interesting. We'll think about this. While they're thinking about it, I shoot him in the back of the head. Ouch. I hurt. That kind of scares the shit out of a lot of people. And some people start struggling for guns. Other people start taking the guns off their bodies, and by the time we're done, we've actually chased them off. They're kind of shocked when, like, some 22-year-old fucking kid killed their boss. I guess he's kind of like their Scarface. They didn't really expect him to just roll over. Unfortunately, this is the real world. People die. I was a hero, though. Kind of. Not really. I was a hero to them. No, not to my enemies. To the Irish. Then he just kind of holds up his hand and kind of like slowly like waves it back and forth as if to go, yeah. That caught my size interest. Held on to me for a little while. They'd embrace me when I was ready. I was actually very polite about the whole thing. Not really how Negan was with you, no doubt. Asshole. Of course, a lot of kindred kindred aren't nearly as good anyway. Aren't any better, but Negan's an asshole.
OOC. Did I tell Spillane about my sire?
I think you implied it. You didn't outright tell him, but you've implied it. So he's kind of assuming it. Because he's able to put two and two together.
Mm. Yeah, I would say your experience sounds preferably over mine.
I mean, I had to shoot someone in the face, so. It sounds easy. And it looks like I do it easily, but that's because I've done it before. I'm aware that I'm really fucking pale right now and fucking cold. Trying to work on that. It's not easy being a mobster and not being a complete cunt. Be right back.
Where are you going?
I would say. Oh, sorry. I'm back. I would say once this war is done and over, we take a break. Take some time to recuperate. This war has taken a lot out of us. In more ways than one.
Yes, and there is now more to contend with than just a war.
Two different kinds of wars. That's the jihad in a nutshell. I noticed you've done a lot of listening.
Kate smiles. I'm rather good at it.
Hmm. And succinct. I need to spend some time with him. This is when this war is over. It's been a while.
I'm due a good vacation after all of this is finished.
Hmm. Where'd you go, if you could?
Luciana.
Ah, interesting choice.
How about you?
Hmm. I'm not sure really. I don't think any place on this road has what I really want. Not that isn't right here anyway. I haven't even played a simple game in such a long time. Last game I played was a game of chess with Critias himself.
And how did that go?
Oh, he thoroughly smashed me. I'm not very good at that game.
Mm.
Granted, he is a master of it, so I guess when you have a few thousand years to have nothing to do, you learn how to play a good game of chess.
I'm pretty sure you'll be able to beat me in 6 moves, perhaps even less.
I think he beat me in around that many moves. Something along those lines. Like, less than 10 moves. He could
Oof.
probably beat a Grandmaster. He could probably beat one of those machines.
Mm.
What game would you play if you had the chance?
I always enjoy. What is it again? I think you might know it under the name of Chinese chess.
Chinese chef.
Google.
No. What are you talking about? I think I. Wait a second. He Googles it. Zhang Kui? Zhang Qi? It's an interesting game.
One of my friends once taught it to me, but it has been a very long time since I last was able to play it.
Hmm. I think I can get us a copy. Or a set. Oh, I need to play me some Yu-Gi-Oh! I always lead to magic fucks. Think the game is so much better. Yeah, it's no more unbalanced. Not less, sorry. I think they're doing a good job of the game anyway. Anyway, I believe I've taken up enough of your time for one evening. It was fun talking to you,
Mm-hmm.
new coterie mate. We'll see if we can get Hayden to join, and then we'll come up with a name. I have one in mind. It's the name of Invictus before it was known as Invictus.
Do you think that is a good idea?
Invictus
Well,
was a separate coterie, really,
mm,
and it's a shadow of what it once was. We used to control the entirety of Tribeca. Now its leaders have either left, been branded traitors. It's now run by a man whose intentions are good, but is so pitiable. It is a mockery of the name of what myself and Limey made it. You really were once the most powerful set of kindred in this city. I think that's why part of me dislikes William. He doesn't know it, but he's insulted what I worked so hard to create. But as a leader of that culture, it was his job to take care of it, and he hasn't. Ain't gonna be something I forget anytime soon. But their problems are theirs, not ours. I'll tell you the name of my old coterie some other time. Stuff of legend it was. Oh, the best and brightest. We were like the Oxford University of coteries. He looks to see if you get the reference.
She knows if the reference is just that Oxford is a pristine university, then yes.
Yeah, like everyone goes to Oxford for higher education. That's basically like saying all the best people came to like his old coterie. Like all the best kindred in the city were basically part of that coterie. That's what he's implying, or just straight saying. And I don't have to roll for that because he's not lying. That was absolutely true. It really was the strongest coterie in the city at the time.
What actually will be the purpose of our coterie?
We will be multi-purpose, but our primary purpose will be wetwork and intelligence gathering. I'm surprised no other coterie has filled that niche.
I think Invictus tries to do that, but since all the influential members that they had have either retired or are no longer available, the coterie is no longer able to successfully perform their tasks.
Only one person has significant influence among them. She was Brenda the traitor. So she lost a lot of her power. That's the thing. Never piss off a scorned Ventru. Nope. Nope. Not unless you are one yourself. Then you can call it a drawer. I wonder I'd pull some shit. Anyway.
Well, thank you for being so unashamedly honest with me. I appreciate it.
Well, kind of lackadaisically, like kind of casually, almost jokingly, like put an arm around her shoulder. As my new coterie mate, I thought I'd be straight with you. And you're a good kid.
A kid?
Not usually good at being, what do you call it? Sensitive.
I would say you're the only one that thinks of me with a name that would instill um, the feeling of cuteness or endearment.
Aw. I think you're mighty sweet.
Well, that makes one of us.
She'll boop you on the nose.
Oh God. Snaps her teeth at him.
Aw, fierce kitty.
Meow.
See, so cute.
Ah.
He'll joss you a little bit. Alright, let's get going. Any tea before you hit the road?
Mhm. She continues drinking her tea and she'll say, I'll see if Hayden will make time to talk with me instead. He doesn't really like to talk to people he does not know or trust. No slight intended, of course.
I understand. I appreciate it a great deal.
No problem. Well then. Or
Hold
does
on.
Selena have anything else to say?
Yeah, the wrap on her shoulder becomes a little bit more genuine. Just kind of like a pseudo hug.
Well, I better get going then. Maybe if I'm lucky, I'll get to see Hayden before the sun rises.
Aye, if you're lucky. Alright, get out of here, stealing my blood.
Well, thank you for being so kind and so courteous to receive me once more.
No problem. My pleasure is all mine.
Well, I'm
And
glad you see it that
before...
way.
Pardon?
I'm glad you see it that way.
Oh. It's fun to while away time with you.
Baboon.
Good night. He said it's fun to while away time with her.
Well, if you ever want to go to the movies again, just say so, and she winks at him. Not flirtatious, but good-hearted.
Yeah.
Giggity giggity.
Good. I think with that, as they say, their farewells. We'll be able to end the scene there. Thank you for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. Sorry for all the memes and
The perfiness.
and seashells innuendos. So bad.
Yay. Smash!
No, no, no. Sam is loyal to his wife. You can't do this. He already has a best girl. We'll see you next time, everybody. We're sorry that I on the scene apologize on behalf of Shia LaBeouf here.
Yay.
Yeah. No, not yay. Say sorry.
Owie.
There we go. There we go. We can end the scene there. Thank you, everybody.